Yo, beautiful people. I was just talking to my group about who, not how. So, just to quickly, not to repeat myself, they already heard it, but who, a lot of people are focusing on how to get in shape, how to get consistent. But if you could switch your mindset and be like, who can get in shape, who can get consistent, a little bit more context about that, because I feel like I'm being vague. Like, who can get in shape? Someone who has positive self-talk, someone who's willing to invest in themselves, someone who's willing to follow direction, to take advice, to get outside their comfort zone, to ask for help, someone who's has positive self-talk. Think of the characteristics a person has to be consistent with the things that we need to be consistent with to get the results that we want. All right. Understanding the who concept. What results are we currently chasing? Example, lose 10 pounds, build muscle, improve self-esteem. Who would achieve those results? A disciplined person, someone who trusts themselves, someone who shows up consistently. So I feel like a lot of these concepts that I talk about are like kind of maybe common sense that most people would agree with. But I feel like when we get like a deeper understanding on what it means, it kind of like I don't know, invigorates me. It kind of like gives me like this energy to like really step in to do this in real time. Creating the who. What is one promise you made to yourself that you haven't kept? Example, waking up early, working out daily, eating nutritious meals. Creating the who is all about keeping your word to yourself. Because a lot of times that people get started on following a meal plan, following a workout program, and they're not good at keeping their word. So they're like, I mean, people are constantly chasing how to get in shape when they're not good at keeping their word. So the blueprint is never going to work because we're not a person that can follow a blueprint consistently. Just like these two guys that are on the group call right now. Um, when you guys first got started, if you can remember, when you first got onboarded, there was a fitness assessment, there was a nutrition assessment. I had you guys do a bunch of things to get you in momentum, to get you to like think about this process differently, which was slowly creating the who that was going to be able to do this. If you guys were to just start and I would have been like, okay, here's the workout program, here's the meal plan right away, like we're not the person yet that can be consistent with those things. So that's why when we first start out with these things, we start very small and I make you guys check things off and I validate it. We start with working on our mindset with a 15-minute morning routine. We start with working on our movement with the fitness assessment, with the nutrition assessment. And after, you know, you guys doing these things, me validating you, me telling you to match your self talk with your actions as we do these things, we slowly create the person that believes that we can do this. Once you have the self belief that you are the person that can follow a plan and get in shape, you start to actually do it. But there's like this big hurdle I feel like a lot of people miss where they never really focus on the who and they only focus on the how. And so they're constantly like chasing something and getting burnt out or starting new things. Do you guys resonate with what I'm saying? Do you guys agree with what I'm saying here?
100%.
Do you guys remember when you first started? Am I explaining this correctly? Does that make sense? Like the way your journey started, kind of the way I'm describing it?
Yeah, definitely. We started off small. We started off with basic stuff from just getting the nutrition down to getting the mindset down. And then as time went on and we progressed, we got deeper into things. You didn't just throw it all on me at once.
Mhm.
You didn't give me any overwhelm. So,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I feel like that whole thing is that our the motto inside the program, you guys probably all know, is 1% better each day. Like if we just keep focusing on just that 1%, even a fraction of a percent, even just like doing our best to slightly be better than who we were yesterday, just having that mindset each day, it can wash away a lot of that overwhelm. So, um, yeah, I just feel like getting deeper on this concept is very powerful because this is what I don't know. Every time I kind of am like drifting out of like who I want to be or the goals that I'm trying to achieve, I go back to this training. The who, not how, is what resonated with me the most. So that's why I like getting deeper on this. because I truly believe that having success on your fitness journey is just self-belief and a plan. If you have the self-belief that you can get in the best shape of your life, now you just need to get a plan that is going to get you there. And working with someone that's already achieved the results that you're looking to get, having them help you with the plan, I think is best. Because if you were to, back to the whole education thing that I was ranting about, if you were to just work with someone that only has the education and doesn't have the results you want, they don't understand that it takes mindset. I feel like that's a lot of the part that people who have only have education and don't have experience is that to lose 70 pounds like you guys did or more, it's not just strategy, it's a lot of mindset. It's a lot of like working on the internal dialogue. It's a lot of nuanced variables that people with education don't learn. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because when I went to school for nutrition, they never spoke about self-talk or mindset or how to believe in yourself. We never really learned about these things. They only teach us about straight up strategy, straight up the facts, which are cool to know the facts, but it doesn't, I really believe that knowing what to do isn't good enough. It's if people like, it's much deeper than that because it takes mindset, and mindset is a very complicated topic. So, how does this impact the trust in yourself? You know, Discuss how breaking promises to yourself erodes self-trust. A lot of this whole who, not how thing is getting us to try to like trust ourselves in a very deep level, and trust and just like, because when I'm like, when now we're at the version of ourselves that we are now, when something comes to you and you have like, okay, this is the next goal. You're like, of course I can do that. I can crush that goal because you look what you guys did. You have proof of what you did this last year of losing all that body fat, building on the muscle, being consistent. So when you guys first started, you were maybe like didn't believe in yourself because you never did it before. And now you're at the point where like maybe, hey, I got a challenge, the wake up challenge, where now we're probably all pretty confident we can do that because we've done it before and we've done harder things. So I'm just trying to like get deeper into the process of like the more that we can keep our word over and over and over again, the more that we step into that person that we trust the most, that we're super proud of, that we believe that we created. Um, because like the thing is, I really believe in my ability to just do the work if I had to do the work because I did it before. If like the government came down and was like you have to be an astronaut, like you have 6 months to be an astronaut. I was like, that'd be pretty confident. I was like, all right, if you just give me this shit that I need to do, I'll just do it. You know, and I feel like I have that mindset because of the fitness journey. Does that resonate with you guys? If the government asked you guys, I mean, maybe not now, but just hypothetical, Damon, hypothetical. If you were just like, you have to be an astronaut in 6 months, would you be like, I believe in myself, I can do that shit.
I plead the fifth.
I could do it. I'm confident in who I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you don't want to do it. I'm saying if it was a different universe, I'm just saying that I'm just trying to give you the mindset shift the whole goal of this everything is being able to believe that you can do anything.
Yeah.
Being able to believe that you can just attack any goal. You are your god of your universe. Besides the cat. Maybe you don't like the word God, but you know, I never thought I was just like a mere human being. I never thought I'm just a human being. I never thought I was just, yeah, I'm just this human being. I always thought that I was right below like gods and stuff. If we do this process and really become the person that we are so proud of, that we trust, and we work on the who. So there's my 2 cents about that. Once what's one small promise you can keep starting today? And like you guys, we're more advanced, but a lot of people who are watching this replay, if it's getting hard for you to stay consistent with some of the habits, I really believe that the challenge that we're doing this month is a big one. Getting out of bed when your alarm goes off, like starting the day on a legit note. Because if you start the day in your bed, doom scrolling, watching freaky shit. That day is gonna start with your dopamine drained, with negative self-talk, with more anxiety, and you're just like reacting to things. But if we had just make the choice to start our day with like, okay, I'm fine with being uncomfortable. I'm fine with proving to myself that I keep my word. Like with that type of energy, it sets ourselves up for success. Okay. So the whole thing about this who not how thing is try getting us to trust ourselves like we've never trusted ourselves before and getting us to create the person who can do anything. Like I want you guys once you hopefully you guys never leave, but once you guys do leave, it's like I want you guys to have the mindset that you could be president, you could be an astronaut, you could do anything. All right. Daily actions to create the who. Wake up early, move the body, eat nutritious meals, positive self-talk, read self-development books. Like if we could do all of these things every day and just like have that 1% better mindset, like we're going to become that person. And I've been kind of slacking on the reading self-development books, but I want to kind of get back into that with the waking up early. But like now that we're all doing this February challenge together and we're kind of like feeling the momentum, feeling the energy shift, leaving the contraction phase, going into an expansion, like I feel like leaning into the self-inflicted adversity is something that like waking up early is self-inflicted adversity, is something that is slightly painful that we're doing on our own choosing that's good for us. So I think all of us are in this group call are doing this, waking up early, moving our body, eating nutritious meals, positive self-talk, and reading self-development books. Are we all doing these things daily?
Yes,
Minus
with
the
the
reading the
exception.
books.
I listen to a podcast, but I don't really read books in the
I
morning.
mean that counts. And yeah, as long as you watch my content, that counts. Mine or Damon's content. Um,
Oh my goodness.
oh no. Hey, but has anybody read any of these recommended books? I do have recommended books inside the program. We have the Beyond ADHD by Sam Led. And if you guys don't know, I had a podcast with this guy a while ago. We had a 2 hour long podcast, but went really good. Um, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Pretty sure Kevin checked that one out.
Yeah, I did.
Non-negotiable by Wes Watson. Damon hates that, so you might want to skip that one. And The Art of Living by Epic. I can never say the guy's name. Epictetus. But this is a good book. I have this one in my upstairs bathroom right now. So these are books that I feel like really kind of lean into the whole idea of who, not how, more. Um, so worth checking out.
I have
Also,
not read any of those.
what's up?
I haven't read any of those.
Yeah, I would check. I mean, check out the. I know The Art of Living you can get for free on audiobooks.
Okay.
The Art of Living is really kind of like a book of quotes. But it's dope. It's dope. I like it a lot. You can just open it and read a page, and it's kind of like a Black Mirror episode. It's not like a full story. It's like random shit
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
All right. So where were we? How will doing these things regularly transform who you are? Example, it builds discipline, self-confidence, and creates inner peace. Okay. I really believe like that we can't really think our way into positive action. We have to act our way into positive thinking. If you're like really just in your head, just like trying to think your way into being like proud or trying to think your way into like loving yourself, you might get like that temporary relief, but I really feel that once you start to act and do positive things, you're able to trust yourself that that is true. So self-honesty is calling out your weaknesses. Okay, I believe that self-criticism is actually a good thing. I mean, it depends, but when you're able to criticize yourself and be honest with yourself, you're able to make the changes that create a better life for yourself. Like you can look in the mirror and be like, that needs to change, that needs to change. I need to get better at communicating. I need to get better at approaching people. I need to get better. I need to have less body fat here. Like, you self-criticism, it's not toxic if you're honest and like reasonable. What are some areas where you struggle to show up for yourself? Example, not hitting the gym, procrastinating, unhealthy eating, negative self-talk. How can you address these weaknesses to become who? Discuss taking responsibility. Focus on progress, not perfection. Does any, while we're running, I know I'm rambling a lot talking about this worksheet, but do you guys have any questions or anything you want to add to what I've been talking about?
No.
Hmm? All right, just checking. So, self mastery over results. There's this quote by Epictetus that says, our true aim in life is self mastery. Your true aim is self mastery, to be able to master your emotions, master your self talk, master your habits, master your actions, and master the results that you can get in this life. So, and I really believe that. I really believe that to be true. That your life goal, I mean, one of your life's goals is is self mastery, to master yourself. And that is, and I really believe that fitness is like the beginning steps to do that. I mean, you could probably start mastering yourself with other self-investment, investing in education, this, that, but I think fitness is a great way to start. What does it mean to master yourself rather than focus on results? Example, being consistent even when it's hard, embracing adversity. You know, I feel like when you focus so much on like end results and end outcomes, it's you start to not enjoy the process as much and it starts to not be as intentional on the daily process. And I feel like when you focus more on just like the habits every day, trying to become proud of ourselves each day instead of worrying about if the scale's going down or not, like that will happen on its own if we stay consistent with what we know we need to be doing. Um, what is one area where we could push ourselves more? Example, showing up with a better attitude, sticking to commitments. Okay. The frequency principle. You become what you frequently do. What is one action you can do daily to raise your frequency? Affirmations, push yourself harder during your workouts, speak kindly to yourself and others. How can this action help you become the who that you can achieve any goal? It builds resilience, positivity, and mental strength. You know, another quote I like from Wes Watson that Damon doesn't like, but your frequency is what you frequently see. So, you know, if you are if your frequency is like this is not working out, I don't like this, and you're negative and pessimistic, then that's what you're going to keep on getting, and that's what you're going to keep on seeing because you only see what you focus on. So, like there's this thing this test that where if I tell you to look around your house, Damon and Kevin, if I tell you to look around your house and tell me to point out everything that's beige, find everything that is the color beige, okay? And you look into them and you find all these things that are beige, and then I'm like, hey, Damon, Kevin, how many things are beige that you saw around your room? And you said, I don't know, maybe 12 or something. And I was like, okay, well, how many red things did you see? See, you didn't see any red things really. You weren't focusing on them. So whatever you focus on, you see a lot of it. When you're focusing on something that is beige, you're going to see a lot of beige things. When you're focusing on something that is positive, when you're focusing on something that is gratitude, when you're focusing on something that is what you want to happen, you're gonna see more of it. You know, this is a concept that I'm trying to articulate well, but I feel like I struggle with. Whatever you focus on the most, you're going to see the most. So whatever you frequently are doing that raises your frequency, your perception is going to be of that. This is going to be a positive outcome in the end. This is going to work out. You know, a lot of times I was worried, like I have worries that things aren't going to work out, or this is going to lead to something that I don't want. And then I just take a step back and realize that this is just, I'm in a low frequency state. I'm looking at this through a low frequency lens. So if you can, even with everything that's going on with the world, how fucked up it is, like if you can still try to be a high frequency human during these times, it's just building so much resilience. It's building so much mindset so that when things calm down, it's just going to feel like heaven. So, what am I making sense with what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Your frequency is what you frequently see. And you guys hear me say the same quotes over and over again. And another one of my favorites is whatever you release, you possess. So a lot of like, I just believe this so deep down into my core that it's like a big part of my identity because I used to, and Kevin, I think can resonate with this. When we used to lash out, when we used to do things out of emotion, when we used to do things just impulsively, um, we would always be stuck on our head where we were right in that scenario, replaying that situation over and over again, worrying so much and thinking that the worrying is like proactive when really it's like, I truly believe that worrying and negative self-talk is like detrimental. I used to think that worrying was like proactive, like if I worry enough, like I may solve something in my head and I might feel okay about this. But I don't agree with that. I believe that that overthinking, that worrying it's just negative chatter in my head. The more negative chatter in my head, the more shitty of a day I'm gonna have. Back to the quotes. I'm always going back to the quotes. The quality of our life is dictated by the quality of our thoughts. So if we can have more positive thoughts than less positive over the days, over the weeks, over the years, over the decades, we're gonna have a better life. The more better thoughts we have on a daily basis, the more better life we have. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
100, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I used to put out nothing but negative energy, and that's all I ever got back.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that one always hits close to home because all I ever did was put out anger, hate, negativity. And I just kept getting that back from everything. It just made it worse. So I will definitely resonate with that quote all day.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. And I mean, and sometimes it's like I'm in the heat of a moment and like something's happening where I have like the opportunity to like, this person deserves this shit. And then I'm like, but then I'm like, I don't. Like, I don't deserve it. I want my peace. I want to be able to chill at night and not be replaying this. So, I mean, and people like us who do maybe have ADHD, we have the racing thoughts, they're we can't really control them. So that's why we need to do our best to control our actions because when we just take positive actions and we make the right choice, it's easier to regulate our positive thoughts. But a lot of times back in the day, we're making shitty choices, bad actions, hurting people, and the truth is, what's that quote? Hurt people hurt people. A lot of us were hurt. And I feel like a lot of people who were hurt, who are dealing with trauma or dealing with negative energy, just put that out. And that's why the transformation is so powerful because we cultivated the positive energy, we cultivated the positive self-talk, and now we know how precious that it's to us. Like we want to feel good. We know what it felt like to feel not good, and that's really a terrible place to be. So we need to protect our peace, our mindset, and our well-being because yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So so closing exercise, the vision of who you want to become. Describe the person you want to become. Confident, disciplined, proud, jacked, lean, whatever it is. What daily habits and mindset shifts will create that person? What does that person do when no one's looking? What does that person do when it's a hard day? Example, early wake ups, moving the body, daily non-negotiables with promises. So, yeah, I mean, any questions about that?
No.
Not for me.
All right. What about the cat?
I don't know what he wants right now.
What a life. I mean, what a life. Hey, he's cute. What a
He's cute.
life. They don't got to worry about much.
I
But
know.
so, final thoughts. Self mastery is our true aim, not results. Because when we master ourselves, we can get any result. A lot of people just go after results, and it's like, oh, we're still like a shitty version of ourselves. It's like it's because you just got results. Like once we work on the self-talk, once we work on the follow-through, the habits, the consistency, we create someone that has better self-mastery. And I believe that results are a byproduct of the person who is capable of achieving them. The person the process of becoming who you need to be is what brings inner peace, self respect, and lasting change. I really believe like all of this shit is connected. I don't know if you guys have heard the term ordained path.
Yeah.
Like this is a like you hear your conscience is pulling you like I don't even have to tell you shit. Like the best coaches, I believe that they don't really tell you what to do, they show you where to look. And like if you just look inside and you can hear that inner voice. Some people might think the inner voice is like insecurity, but like you can tell the difference between like insecurity and like your conscience, I believe. Like your conscience is like pulling you towards this version of you that you know you're capable of being. Like you see that 10.0 version of yourself. And but then like our belief are like it's a multitude of things. It's like our belief system, our subconscious, our excuses, our justifications are like fighting with our conscience. But I feel like now that we're at this point of who we are now, like we're no longer fighting with our conscience. It's like we know what we want, we know who we want to be, and we just got to show up every day and get 1% better.
Agreed.
Okay, are you guys feeling fired up from this training?
Ready to get swole.
Let's go. All right. So simplicity, guys. Simplicity, keep the steps clear and actionable. Focus on small daily habits that your clients can start with to build momentum. Emphasis on self-talk. Reinforce the idea that positive self-talk and being kind to oneself during the journey is key to becoming the who. Like, I mean, I feel like my whole thing, like if I could give one tip to anybody, is just learn how to match your self-talk with your actions. Because if you learn how to match your self-talk with your actions, you'll just become somebody that is more consistent with what you want. Because if you're doing something negatively that causes regret and you're just like in the moment talking shit about yourself for doing that, you're going to do that less. A lot of people are like doing negative things and then later you feel regret. But if you can learn to match your positive self-talk even when you do positive things, when you guys first started in the program, I was always very diligent of telling everybody to match their self-talk with their actions, because over time when you do that, it becomes like a belief of who you are. Like you start to feel good about thinking about even doing that thing because you know it's leading to positive self-talk, leading to you feeling proud. So keep leaning in to the self-talk and matching it with the actions. So well, it's not about how to get the results you want, whether it's losing fat, building muscle, finding self-worth. It's about who you need to become to make that happen. The truth is, you can follow all the steps, but if you're not the kind of person who shows up consistently, keeps their promises, and pushes through when it's hard, you'll always fall short. You can take all the right actions with all the wrong mindset. Becoming the who means mastering yourself first, waking up when you say you will, working out, fueling your body, and feeding your mind with positive self talk every damn day. When you build trust with yourself and stop negotiating with your excuses, you become unstoppable. Real growth isn't in the result, it's in creating the person who can conquer anything. That's where the real pride, peace, and power come from. Becoming the person who can achieve the results means mastering the small daily promises you make to yourself, showing up, doing the hard things, and building trust in yourself over time. It's not about chasing goals, it's about becoming someone so disciplined, so committed that the results are inevitable. Little golf clap. So, Yeah, so I want to hear from you guys. I'm gonna get if I can put you guys on the spot for a little bit, if that's cool. Like the who, not how, this training, this whole concept, like I want to know what it means to you guys, like individually. You guys probably have similar ideas, maybe different the way you word them, but is it cool if I put you guys on the spot and ask you guys?
Yeah.
All right, whether you like it or not, it's happening.
I'll let Kevin go first this time.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Damon.
Yo, I'm with a couple of my star players here, and we're going over one of my favorite concepts, who, not how. This is a mindset training I like to do inside of my private community. And Kevin, can you explain what this means to you, this concept, who, not how?
Well, what it means to me is that I've always known how to get in shape. I always know how I was supposed to do it. But for quite some time, I wasn't that person who was ready for it. The person I was full of excuses, self-doubt, and no belief in myself. And once I sat down with you on our first call and we started talking more and getting into detail about it, you know, and as we started growing on this journey together, that person started to show, whether it was building habits, whether it was just completing workouts or small little wins, I started proving to myself that I could do it. And as time went on, that person who I've always wanted to be started to show. And it didn't happen overnight. It took time. And the longer I worked at it, the more stronger that person became, whether it was physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, yeah, that's what it means to me. It means that I loved myself and I proved to myself that I can complete anything. So, that's what I think.
Beautifully said. Damon got his hand up. What's up, Damon?
Oh, I was just doing the clock it.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Hey,
thing all these kids are doing these days.
yeah, hey. That was well said, Kevin. That was
Yeah,
well said.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Damon, can you follow that up?
For me, um, so for me, I really feel like the who, not how is the same thing that Kevin said, but if you kind of take a step back from it and think of it, um, instead of how do I get to X, Y, and Z goal, and reframe it to who is that person? What do they
Mhm.
look like? So for myself, if I'm like, I want to be a better person, broad strokes. What does that look like? Okay, but who is that person? How do they show up in the world? How do they talk about themselves? And there's I'm adding a how in there, but it correlates back to
Yeah.
that who is the person. Like, does that version of me get up on time every day, or do they sleep in, or do I let the alarm go? Do I just doom scroll for hours and hours and hours, or do I show up for myself? Do I put healthy food in my body? Do I make sure that I'm drinking enough water? Am I getting enough sleep? All of those things. And when you look at who that person is versus who I am now, then that how starts to make more sense, because if I want to if I want to get to a place where I can be that who or that person, how do I integrate that into my everyday life? How do I show up for myself in such a way that I can become that person? And instead of focusing on the end result, focusing on the steps and the process and everything in between, the result will just show up at some point. And it that's really where the magic isn't at the end. The magic is the steps in between. It's kind of like that old saying that it was never about the destination, it was about the friends we made along the way. It's the same kind of concept, but about yourself.
Yeah.
And those friends are those little actions that you make that become daily habits that just become a part of who you are. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on the who, not how.
Nice. Yeah. I love what you said about the whole friend thing. That's a cool idea to think about. Think of like your habits as your friends, your that's a cool idea to think of it like that. I mean, just getting a deeper understanding on this training that we went over a while ago. who, not how. Like the last thing I wanted to say is that I feel like a lot of people get started on their fitness journey and they're so focused on how to get in shape that that's why they keep starting and stopping over and over again. You keep focusing on like the new shortcut or the new blueprint, the new this, the new that. Like we will never be able to consistently follow a blueprint if we're not who can follow the blueprint. It's not about how you're going to do something, it's who can do it consistently. And when you really lean into that idea, you start to work more on your self talk, more on your mindset, more on your follow through, more on your consistency. And when you get better at mindset, follow through, self talk, consistency, when you get better at those things, then you can follow a blueprint very easily, like these guys. Let's go. Beautiful. Hey, we got to start a TED Talk. Beautiful. Nice job, guys. Yeah, this is a powerful training. I feel like every time we go over it, we just get a little bit deeper understanding on what it means and how we can keep on keeping on doing it.
Agreed.
Cool. Any last words?
No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Always love. I just love when the conversation just